Do you feel the vibes?
I just got back from seeing Rogue One, and wow, I'm actually pleasantly surprised about how much I like this movie. Going into this movie wasn't super hype. It's Star Wars, obviously, so that there's gonna be some hype with it. But I knew it was a prequel. I knew it was telling a story that essentially we already knew about. But damn, did they do a good job. Characters, which I'm gonna get into all of this, but really like this movie. I'm gonna do a score at the end. And hell, I'll do a ranking where I rank this movie. Probably have to think about it, but I pretty much got in mind where I'll rank this movie at this point. I'm gonna go watch it again at some point, at least before they take it away from the theater. But I'm gonna watch it again. But like I said, if you're a fan of Star Wars or a fan of science fiction, science fantasy, go watch this movie. But let's get into the review. Now, Star Wars Rogue One takes place between episodes three and four. And it's essentially a story, as I mentioned, about the theft of the Death Star plans, everything that went into it. But it was so much leading up to the emotion, and they bring in characters we haven't seen, and develop these characters, and I thought they did a great job. I can't point out one character that I disliked, and that's really saying something in the movie where there's always a character in a lot of movies. There's always a character that's like, don't really care about him. Maybe other people feel differently. Obviously, if you look at the Metacritic score, people, the critics or whatever. But I enjoyed this movie as a fan of Star Wars. You saw a lot of Easter eggs. I won't give any spoilers, but you saw Easter eggs. If you watched the original trilogy, you saw Easter eggs in this movie, pretty much tying it to the original trilogy, and I really like that. But the story is starring Jyn Erso, who is she's essentially one of the people who leads the mission to get the Death Star plans. And I assume this will be spoilers, so I won't say it. But her whole mission is, she's teaming with Cassian Andor, K2, which is the robot. They usually always have to have a robot. If you remember the prequel trilogy, the original trilogy, it was always C-3PO, R2-D2, and Force Awakens. I cannot remember that robot, but that robot was going for more of like I guess people liked it because it was adorable or whatever. That I didn't really mind it, didn't really care for it. But the robot K2, I really liked in this movie. He actually gave some levity in this movie, more so than any of the human characters. So definitely a robot. Robot was a great character, and not too many movies can do that. But I like the robot K2. Like Donnie Yen's character, as usual, IP Man is the movie he's most known for. Kicking ass. You saw it in the trailer, he was kicking ass. He kicks ass in this movie. He's a blind guy, and I really liked him, liked his partner, Baze. Baze, I might be saying his name wrong, sorry. But he's a lot of supporting characters are good. And the acting from each character. Forrest Whitaker's in the movie. He did an amazing acting job. They even bring back, as you know, Darth Vader's in the movie. James Earl Jones does the voice. The last time we heard James Earl Jones do Darth Vader was at the end of Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. We see him reprise it. And any scene with Vader was a fucking badass. I was just going to tell you that right now. Do I need already say that? Vader's a fucking badass. The actor that plays Bail Organa, do you remember him in Episode 3? He's back in. He's in the movie for a few scenes. Mon Mothma, and the way doing this by being a prequel, you're gonna see characters. Obviously, the movie Episode 4 was done in 1977, so a lot of those actors are either really old or not alive anymore. And this is not a spoiler. We know he's in the movie. Grand Moff Tarkin is in the movie, and the CG. And this kind of segues into the effects. The CG done with his face looks exactly photorealistic. It looked great. The effects. I actually went to go see it in 3D. 3D. I just watched it in 2D. 3D is not really that great. But there were some scenes, some of the action scenes that looked better in 3D. But you watch it in 2D, it's much better. You don't have to wear the stupid glasses. But the visual effects. I already talked about the photorealistic, how had to make his face look how it did originally. All that was great. We saw the different. You got to have a space battle in Star Wars. We saw the space battle, all the effects, everything sounded. And I mentioned this in Force Awakens, where they went back and everything sounded like Star Wars. The ships, and this one's definitely close to home because it's taking place right before Episode 4. So you'll see a lot of things that you recognize. You see a lot of characters that you recognize. Sound. Of course, they're going to new age visual effects, and they still use practical effects. And you saw a lot of different aliens. They made sure to really pan in on the different aliens, and it looked great. But going back to the story, I like the emotion, the emotion with the different characters, because this movie, like the original trilogy, really showcases the situation that the rebellion was in. You're fighting an enemy who don't even know how many numbers they have. They have superior technology, better trained, and you see that in this movie, and of course in the original trilogies, which kind of shows that okay, definitely there's definitely time to it. You saw how powerful the Empire was in this movie. The Death Star is used in this movie, and damn. And it just shows you the advantage that the Empire had. And even despite that, you have people in the rebellion who are willing to give it their all to stop them. And I guess we can. I'm not gonna spoil the ending, but it was an ending I was actually expecting coming into this movie, just based on okay. If you've seen the original trilogy, you probably know this ending. Not saying any more, but if you can extrapolate what I just said, and like I said, if you've seen the original trilogy, you probably can guess this movie. Is there anything else to cover without really giving any spoilers? No, but the movie was great. Go watch this movie. If I was scored, I'm gonna start doing 0.5s. I would probably give it an 8.5, just based on I like the dark tone. I like the characters. I can't point out any character I didn't like. The villain Krennic, amazing. You saw that the Death Star was his pet project, and he was willing to do whatever it takes to get credit for it. And he was a really good villain. But you knew he wasn't the main villain, but he was the guy that was the villain in this movie. And I thought the actor, he did an amazing job. He made you hate his guts, and that's part of being a good villain. When you just despise the villain. Have there been better villains in Star Wars? Of course, Darth Vader, the Emperor. Of course they have. But I thought he did a really good job, especially when no one was talking. Most people wanted to see Vader. That's what, in terms of villains, most people wanted to see Vader, or Grand Moff Tarkin. No one really cared about him, but I thought he did a really good job of being that villain. You got so many different locations, like different planets, everything, and it obviously wasn't the same stuff, but every planet looked amazing. The fight. Star Wars, man. You know the action scenes are gonna be great. They're gonna be great. But I gave my score 8.5. Where I would rate this, I guess I'll go from because there's 8 movies now. I guess I'll go 1 through 8. Number 1, I will go Empire Strikes Back, which is episode 5. Number 2, I will go New Hope. Number 3, this is where it gets really tough. I would say number 3, I'll probably still give it to Return of the Jedi slightly, just because the conclusion of that movie and seeing the growth of Luke Skywalker, I thought that was really drove that movie. There's some stupid things in that movie, but in all, I still really like the ending for that movie. Tied the entire original trilogy together. 4, I go Rogue One. 5, I go Force Awakens. It's really close between Force Awakens and Rogue One, but I think because Rogue One, it was showing some of the it was showing a story we already knew about, but the emotion, the ending, the characters, I felt as though it was done really good, and I'll give it a slight edge over Force Awakens. After Rogue One, which was 4, then I would give it to Force Awakens 5. Then Revenge of the Sith at 6, kind of underrated in terms of prequels. 7, it will probably be Attack of the Clones, really bad movie. Then of course Last Phantom Menace, a piece of trash. But they've definitely been doing a really good job for these Star Wars with these Star Wars movies. Can't wait for Episode 8. Finally gonna get Mark Hamill in it. And then you have they've been talks about a Han Solo movie. Watching this and seeing how well they did the prequel has me excited for a Han Solo movie. A lot of people are like, well, obviously Harrison Ford won't be able to do it. So what? They showed that they get some good actors. And, they putting Star Wars back on the right track in the right direction. Is Empire Strikes Back still the best movie? Yeah, to me. I mean, but that's one of the best sequels ever. But I like the track that they're going back with Star Wars. They're getting back to the practical effects, which is amazing with the different aliens seeing all that. That itself is cool. But that pretty much does it. Like I said, 8.5. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. Have you watched Star Wars Rogue One? Who is your favorite character? I would say the robot. Honestly, the robot was fucking awesome. And Donnie Yen. Which I can't pronounce his character's name. Starts with a C. I don't want to say it wrong, so I'm just not going to say it. It's easy to look that up on IMDb. I looked it up, still can't say it. But like this character, he fucking kicked ass. But yeah, like I said, it pretty much does it. Tell me what you like, what you didn't like, and I'll probably talk about what I didn't like when I get to spoilers. But for the most part, as a Star Wars fan, most of it I like. And the things that I didn't like, I would say the villain, while he is good, he's I don't think he did enough. I don't think he did enough bad to, if that makes any sense. I don't think he did enough for people, the audience, to hate him, which is, the hallmark for a good villain. But like I said, I still think he did a good job. Did a great job. But let me know what you think down in the comment section. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. Tired of rambling on. Subscribe. Thanks.